Welcome back to Bookmas. Today we are completing some series we're in the middle of. We're not continuing. We are getting caught up on 3 different series, completing them, checking them off the list. We are done thinking about them. And I'm thrilled. I'm very thrilled to tell you about this. We're going to start with the only book that is, in proper order. I am going to be reading book 2 in, the first book is Favorite. It's like the Spoons, Oregon series. I think it's called Spoons, is like just the name of the series. But we have Left of Forever by Tarah DeWitt, and I've been seeing really good reviews about this book recently, and it's got me really excited to read it. The vibes are kind of giving Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, a second chance, like divorced couple who's kind of been through it type energy. But this is about Ren and Ellis. Also, I love the name Ren, so that's already a plus. Ren and Ellis fell in love as kids. They had their son Sam when they were only teenagers and built a life together in the coastal town of Spoons, Oregon. They were made for one another until they fell apart. Now divorced and in their 30s, Ren runs a bakery in town while Ellis is working as a firefighter. They live separate lives, though they are hardly off each other's mind. When Ellis and Ren move Sam into college, Ellis convinces Ren to take an extended road trip back to Spoons to see if they can give their relationship one last chance. Amid the gorgeous California coastline and the intimacy they have missed for years, Ren starts to think that it just might be possible. But can the past truly be left behind? When words fail and old wounds resurface, it's a soul-bearing letter that could finally reveal the truth or close the door on them forever. So then the rest of these books, let's just say I made mistakes. So we have book 1 in this series because last year I read book 2 by accident. It was a Christmas book, so I picked it up and read it and then went into Goodreads and I was like, oh, didn't read book 1. So here we are. Book 1 is called Mr. Fixer-Upper by Lucy Score. I have historically had pretty good relationship with Lucy Score books, so I am excited to give this one a go. This is about Paige St. James. She has zero time for temperamental talent, especially flannel-wearing Gannon King, who acts like being in front of the camera is the last thing he wants. Mr. Sex in a Tool Belt has made his mission in life to get a rise out of her, but Paige is a master at locking down her temper. After all, they're on the road together, working long hours renovating homes and changing lives. When Gannon manages to find his way through the cracks in her professional facade, sparks fly, and hiding it from the cameras is all but impossible. Gannon is infatuated, but Paige knows she won't ever be taken seriously if she's caught sleeping with the star of the show. Except she can't seem to resist those big, rough hands, those smoldering hazel eyes, the dimples, the tool belt, the fiercely protective vibe. Too bad, it's all about to come crashing down. And then book 2 is about Gannon's sister, so I'm excited to, have that first book done. And then this series. This is a Christmas series. I read the middle book. I don't think book 3 was out when I read the middle book. So at the time I only read the second book. But the middle book is called There's Something About Mary. So book 1 in the series is called Nick and Noelle's Christmas Playlist. And then book 3 is called Along Came Holly. So this is going to be a 4-book video because I wanted to get both of these done this holiday season, naturally. So, Nick and Noelle's Christmas Playlist. Nick Winter's Christmas at home is going to be nothing like he planned. What was supposed to be a memorable holiday with his longtime girlfriend goes sour when he learned she cheated on him while he was overseas. At least Nick can rely on his usual shift at the family Christmas tree farm with his best friend, Noelle Carter, and her endless supply of Christmas tunes to lift his spirits. A night of fun together is just what he needs to forget about his ex. But then they kiss, and it feels so right. If Noelle can turn Nick's blue Christmas merry and bright, this might be the last Christmas Nick spends with a broken heart. This year, they'll be rocking around the Christmas tree as a couple as long as Nick's ex doesn't go standing under any mistletoe. I quite enjoyed the middle book. It was about Nick's sister Mary, so that was cute. And then we have got Along Came Holly. These are all by Codi Hall. Holly Winters, who's like the other sister in this family, owns the jolliest holiday shop on Main Street, and this season is shaping up to be the best yet. The only pit in her figgy pudding? Declan Gallagher, the owner of the hardware store next door. He's the scroogiest man of all of Mistletoe, Idaho, and doesn't care about dumping coal all over someone else's most wonderful time of the year. When Holly's revenge prank escalates into an all-out war with her grinchy neighbor, she finds herself in a sticky situation where she realizes she needs his help. Declan can't believe the nerve of his oh-so-cheerful neighbor hiring him to set up her holiday lights display, but the money is too good to pass up. Despite his utter loathing of excess decorations, he throws himself into the job to get it done, only to encounter sabotage at every turn. To his astonishment, Declan finds himself championing the very woman who used to get under his skin, and one rooftop kiss has him thinking maybe the season's traditions aren't as heinous as he believed. Declan's heart has grown 3 sizes since Holly came along, but how can he admit he's falling for the one woman he shouldn't want? So, we're gonna get into these 4 books, and hopefully we have the best time ever. And even if we don't, we're able to cross these series off the list, baby. Okay guys, I have an update at like 90%. Could have probably came back. Actually, I couldn't. That's a lie. I was listening to this while I was helping out at my friend's small business, my friend Andrea. I was helping her out, and I listened to the majority of this book because I have to get this done like today or tomorrow. I have like an hour left in the audiobook because this is leaving Audible as like a free book in like days. So I needed to get on this. So this is book 1 in this little series by Codi Hall. I read the second book, which is There's Something About Mary first, which is about our main character Nick's sister Mary. But in this book, we have Nick, and nothing is going like he planned. He was in the military, and he's now finally done, and he moves back home, and he has his girlfriend that he's had for all these years. He finds out she's been cheating on him. They break up, and then he has his best friend, Noelle. And Noelle is also kind of going through it. She doesn't want anything serious. She has her on again, off again fling, who he has now been posting pictures with another girl, and she's not like mad because they weren't dating, but she's more so like, we were like exclusive friends with benefits. Like, you could have at least told me. So there's all of this drama with that. But one night they're all out with their friends, and the girl, Noelle's best friend, is getting married, and the girl who Nick was cheating on Nick, his ex-girlfriend, is one of her and Noelle are the 2 bridesmaids for this wedding, and this girl is a rotten, crotchety woman. She's horrible. She's horrible to Noelle, she's horrible to Nick, she's horrible even to the girl who's getting married. She's just bad news bears. So when they see her out, Noelle wants to kind of make Nick feel better and get back at the girl. So she kisses Nick, and they decide to lean in to this fake dating thing. The issue is that Noelle lost her parents when she was quite young, and she is seen as like part of the family with Nick's family because they have helped take care of her and provide love and like family time for her since she was a little kid. So they're like, if you're gonna try things with Noelle, you better not mess it up. Little do they know it's not real. But then the issue is they both do actually like each other, but Nick just got out of this relationship, and Noelle is not really interested in dating. That's kind of what's going on. So far, it's very mid. It's giving 3-star energy, which is kind of like the vibe that it gets on like Goodreads anyway. But it's a cute, fun time. I'm happy I'm reading it, and I'm excited to finish it, see how it ends. And I will let you guys know definitively where it lands, but it's feeling like a 3. I just wanted to come on here and tell you we finished it, and I gave it 3 stars. Literally nothing further happened other than they lived happily ever after. You know what I mean? Like, I was at the end of the book. So, that's all I really have got to say about Nick and Noelle's Christmas playlist. I know that at the time of reading There's Something About Mary, I gave it 4 stars. I don't know if I was to reread it now because I literally read that book in 2022. So, whether or not I would still feel that way is unknown. I think next up in this video will probably be just the next book in this series so we can be done with it, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna go deal with whatever is due next on Libby and continue with whatever that video is. Okay guys, I'm gonna be getting into this book next. I'm reading it on my Kindle, but I just wanted to let you know I am excited. I DNF'd the last book that I was gonna read because it was written in like second person point of view and that made me want to die a little bit. But we're gonna jump in to Mr. Fixer Upper. Okay guys, we're about halfway through Mr. Fixer Upper. I think I'm about to get into this summer chapters, like where I'm at. And this book is just okay. I definitely liked the Christmas Fix better. This is falling into the same issue that I had with Face Off when I read that, which you guys won't see that vlog for a while. But where like they are not friends at all and then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, let's fuck. Let's like, oh actually like I think you're hot. And I don't like that like flip of a switch. It really bothers me. But in this book we've got our main guy, his name is Gannon, and he and his sister Catalina, who the Christmas Fix is about, have a like basically their own show on like HGTV essentially, where it's called like King's Construction or Kings of Construction because their last name's King. And it's basically like, what was that show back in the day where like they would find like a struggling family and fix up their house? It's literally like that essentially. And so then we have our girl, her name is Paige. She is like a producer on the show, and she falls asleep on his shoulder one day on an airplane by accident, and it becomes this whole like trending thing and everybody thinks they're dating. So now the network wants to put like a microphone on her and have her be part of the talent, part of the storyline on this season. She hates her job. She's only doing it for one more season to make enough money so that she and her friend can open a business like doing these documentaries, so on and so forth. And so we find out that Gannon actually really likes her. He's been trying to not like her, but he does like her. So now they're like actually sort of dating. Their current season ended and she only wants to stick around for one more season. But now is their first time to like be together outside of the show, and she's not sure how that's gonna go. She also, there was like, if you're into like the whole like he's taking care of you when you're sick type of trope, which I know like a lot of people are. There is like an accident on set where she gets very injured and he like comes to her room and bandages her up, washes her hair, that whole thing that people like. But it's like fine. As of right now, it's feeling like a 3. It has all the potential to change to a 4, but it's definitely not a 5. But, you know, I've been reading it quite slowly, and I do think whenever I read a romance book, like in more than like 2 sittings, I do tend to enjoy it less because I'm not as locked in. But I've just been so busy and exhausted by the time I go to bed that I get like 2 chapters done and I'm like, I gotta go to sleep. But my Kindle says I have 2 hours left, so we'll see how that goes. I fear I'm still working on the Christmas Fix, and I hate to say that, but I am. But we are gonna move into this audiobook simultaneously, or not the Christmas Fix, Mr. Fixer Upper. I do hope to finish it today, but I've been saying that 4 days. I've just been so pooped by the time I get to bed. But we are going to get into the audio for this. The audio for this is included with your Audible subscription. So I will come meet you guys, chat with you guys when I know what's going on. But I will let it be known, I just was reading books for a video where me and my friend did a book swap, and I just read 2 dark romances back to back. This is what the soul needs, truly. Okay friends, we are about halfway through Along Came Holly, and honestly this is just exactly what I needed today after the dark romance nonsense, you know what I'm saying? So in this book we've got our female main character Holly and our male main character Declan. I hate the name Declan, so that part is really bothering me. But anywho, Holly is the final sibling of the siblings of Mary, Noel, or Mary, Nick, and Holly. They're all siblings, are born in December, blah blah blah. Their family owns a Christmas tree farm, and she kind of like runs the shop. So she is like obviously obsessed with Christmas, and the guy who runs like the hardware store next door is a Grinch. So she goes in to try to like get him into the holiday spirit when she sees that his son Declan is actually currently running the shop. Switch to Declan's point of view. Declan is, or not his point of view, because this is third person point of view, but anywho, Declan has moved back to Mistletoe because his dad fell and got hurt, and then also was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's, so he can't really live alone anymore. So Declan has kind of given up his career in the arts to move home and take care of his dad. Nobody really knows what's going on. His dad kind of like abandoned them when he graduated high school. They like got divorced, and he hasn't really seen his mom since. So it's just kind of him and his dad, and they have like a nurse that comes and takes care of him. But the dad isn't so far in his like illness that he still can function pretty well. And so he's kind of getting annoyed with Declan basically babysitting him all the time. And Holly also has this career doing YouTube videos, dressed up as like an elf, doing like different like stunts basically. And so she's trying to find a new direction for her online career to go, because she's very much so sick of that. And so they end up getting into like this pranking war between each other, and she can tell at this point halfway that there is something that Declan's not telling her, or like a real deep reason why he hates Christmas. And we as the readers know that it's because it reminds him of when things were good with his family and they're just like not anymore. And so we're watching Holly kind of discover through hints here and there why he is so anti-Christmas. And they're pulling off these pranks on each other, and she's trying to get her house display set up for this big like showing that they do in their neighborhood, but the guy who was supposed to set it up canceled. So Declan agrees to come help her, and now is when they're starting to really get to know each other and get deeper in on their friendship, and they just smooched. And it's giving Hallmark, it's giving corny, but it's literally what I was craving today. So I'm loving that, simply. It's feeling like a 4, which is really good. I gave book 2 in this series a 4. This one's feeling like a 4. I gave book 1 a 3. So overall, a pretty fun little Christmas series. But we're going to see how this one ends, and I will check in with you guys then. And like I said, I am hoping, I'm having D&D tonight, and I'm hoping when I finish D&D, I can get through Mr. Fixer-Upper. I have less than 2 hours left, so here's to hoping. We are here with the double whammy. We finished them both, baby. It's been a very traumatic morning with my husband hurt his back, but we are here. We finished this on my Kindle last night, and I finished this on audio yesterday. So this book, I did tell you what it was about, obviously, and this book felt much more deep than book 1, which I know we also read in this video. 1 felt very surface level. This felt much deeper, and I really enjoyed getting like to see both Mary and Noelle from the other 2 books. They played really big cameos throughout the end of this book, but just like getting to see Declan really repair his relationship with his family was so heartwarming. And overall, it was a really great Christmas read, and I gave that one 4 stars. You also don't have to read. I would honestly skip Nick and Noelle's Christmas playlist and just read the other 2. Then I did finish Mr. Fixer-Upper. I dabbled between giving this a 3 and a 4. It's probably more like a 3.5, but I landed on a 3 because I just like definitely don't like it as much as my 4s. Like I gave the first book or the second book, I guess, in this series, The Christmas Fix, 4 stars, and I definitely did not like this as much. I found the main girl Paige to be quite insufferable for like 60% of the book. When a book's over 400 pages, disliking a character for like the main female character for so long is wild. Yes, our dude, what was his name? Gannon. He was also kind of annoying, like very pushy with his like wanting to be with her, but all of her reasonings for like, she just like refused to hear people out. So basically, Gannon has like a fake on-screen girlfriend, as a lot of celebrities do, this girl named Megan, and Megan shows up at set to cause up some drama, blah, 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 and Paige refuses to listen to hear Gannon out because Megan ran up to him and was like kissing on him, whatever, and then he like dragged her off of set, and she's like, oh, he's obviously taking her back to the hotel room to fuck. And she was refusing to let him explain himself. Like, he was mic'd up. He has microphone evidence of what was said. Like, but she's like, no, I can't hear it. We don't work. And everything was, well, if I date you, then I'm never going to get a job again. If I date you, I'm never going to get a job again. Which, I do like the commentary about the sexism in this, like, job field, in producing and, like, TV, whatever. I liked that talk, but it was just so on the nose, so repetitive, so beat down your throat that it did begin to annoy me. And then every time, like, things were lining up for them to be together, Paige would have some sort of ridiculous reason why they couldn't. And so she was actually really irritating me, so I ended up giving that one a 3-star. And I used my Audible credit because I still have a couple of weeks left on my hold on Libby for this, but we're going to start today well, we're going to finish it. It's only 300 pages. It's like a 9-hour audio. So we're going to get going on this book today. Let's get into it. You guys, I am loving this book. It's giving me the same kind of feelings as the Kennedy Ryan one. What's that one called? Before I Let Go. This is a second chance romance where they are currently divorced, but they still love each other so much. And you can really feel how much they love each other because it is dual point of view, so you get both their points of view. But basically we have Ren and Ellis, and they got pregnant at 17 with their son. They got married very quickly, and she's now 33 with a college-age student, or college-age kid, and divorced. She is recently kind of starting dating. He has not really started dating because he is still so beyond in love with her, and she is only trying to date to kind of hide her feelings for Ellis. So we find out some of the many reasons they got divorced was things were just getting very hard. They got pregnant with their son Sam when they were young by accident. And Ren has a condition, I forget the name of it, but it's some sort of medical condition that makes getting pregnant very hard, if not impossible. And so that was a big leading factor as to why they decided to keep the baby, is because she didn't know if she'd ever be able to get pregnant again. And so whenever they were married and trying desperately for a second baby, more so because she really wanted another baby, and she ended up getting pregnant and had a ectopic pregnancy that ended disastrously. She had to have emergency surgery. It was a really scary situation. So after that happened, it really was like the catalyst to break down their relationship. So they ended up getting divorced, and now their son is going to college, and he is like going out of state, and so they are going to come with him, and then they are going to take a road trip back up to their home in Spoons. And Ellis is at this point basically like told Ren, like, I want to try to fix this. Like, I'm still so in love with you. She kind of agrees. So they're going on this series of dates to kind of really work through the issues that they had in their relationship to see if it's something they could try again. And so far, it is so good, so cute, and I am loving it, and it's making me giddy. So this is the kind of energy I needed today. Hell yeah. We have finished this book, therefore we have finished this video, friends. We are done. We did it. And I think it's not a 5, but a 4 seems too low. But I'm gonna go with a 4, I think, for Left of Forever. So watching Ren and Ellis really find their way back to each other and admit their feelings and go through all of these things. There is also this element of letter writing, which I wasn't sure how it was going to play out. Essentially, Ren sends a letter to like the fire department, because Ellis is a firefighter, saying that like she heard about these like horses, that like this whole situation with these horses, and they start communicating. He knows that it's her because she sent baked goods. She's a baker, and he knows they're her baked goods. So he's writing these letters to her knowing that it's her, and she doesn't know that it's him. So there is that little bit like a level of deceit that I wasn't sure how it was going to play out, and I think it played out in a way, like, as it started to unfold, I was scared, but I think it played out in the best way that it could, and I think that Tarah DeWitt did it beautifully, because it's a hard thing to get right. So overall, we're gonna give this 4 stars. So we had 2 3 stars and 2 4 stars, but we're able to eliminate 3 series. Well, I say that. I did see on Goodreads there's a 3rd book in this series coming out next year, but for the time being, check, check, check. All 3 of these series are off the TBR and we can move on with our lives, okay? So that's gonna be it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!